Welcome to another episode of This That Type of Talk. Today we have a special guest who has made significant strides in the world of filmmaking. He's a visionary director and producer known for his compelling storytelling and cinematic brilliance. Please join me in welcoming Irving Lambert, a creative force whose work continues to captivate audiences and push the boundaries of visual storytelling. Get ready for an inspiring conversation about his journey, insights, and the magic behind his projects.
Bases loaded with the hits.
What's going on? How you feeling?
Not too bad. How's everything going for you?
Surviving. It's been crazy. It's been
There you
crazy.
go.
It's been crazy lately, but it's been cool. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine. You got a lot of big things.
Say, finally got you on here, boy.
What's going on?
So, what inspired you to pursue a career in directing and producing, and how did you get your start in the industry?
Man, how did I start? Well, I'm gonna keep it real. It fell in my lap because I've always been creating stuff. So like realistically, when I guess, if I could put like a pinpoint, like it started on Vine, you know what I'm saying? Everything
Yes.
started on Vine and then creating. And from there, from Vine, I wanted to go bigger. And then somebody one day before pandemic was like, yo, you really direct. And I'm like, well, I am a director. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really think that way, because I was like, oh, this division, boom. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think too much about a director. You know what I mean? But what inspired me to do it is just literally, I just like, creating a cinematic universe and tell a story in a most creative way. You know what I mean? Just by watching other movies and things I've been inspired by, like, classic movies. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And Vine, since you brought that up, Vine was crazy. Like, people were going so viral on that. And that was like the first thing before TikTok and before Instagram really started popping off with these reels. I remember so many different videos that people were like watching millions of times, and it just was crazy. You see these regular old people shooting out of a camera that's like cheap, and then all of a sudden they were going viral off of that.
Yeah. No. I started on Vine. I wasn't big on Vine, really.
Mm-hmm.
But Vine definitely kind of was like that little catalyst that kind of pushed me to just create and just not caring things about the world. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's good, because that's a great way to get started, especially to get your creative juices going and see that someone else, kind of opens your mind to let you know, like, hey, you're actually a director. And then you expanded upon that and got to where you are now and continuing to grow. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy, real crazy journey. I'll say that it's not easy. I'll say that.
I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, no, just being I guess a new face, or I guess a young one in the game. It's hard to kind of like, break that ice with people. They're like, yo, who's this guy that the game is like, people got to vouch for you. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, can you walk us through your creative process in approaching a new project, and how do you turn your ideas into a fully realized film?
So for example, like my fan films, I'll go through my fan films. For like Powerpuff Girls, that's probably one of my most popular IP, fan films and everything. So what I do is if I want to create a fan film, I lock myself in a room for days, and I will binge watch everything to understand everything. And I'll just take notes. I'll just watch everything. I won't answer my phone. I won't do anything. Like, some people will notice that people are just like, Irv haven't been on the internet. Where's he at? You know what I'm saying? Like, so people, like some of my close friends, they be noticing like when I'm silent, like, and so it's a lot of things. So like I will lock myself in a room. Okay, cool. How do I take this story and bring this into an adult demographic and teenage demographic and an adult demographic?
Right.
How do I blend that world together?
Yeah.
So I will watch, you know, I will look up other people's fan films. I will look up fan films. I will look up any potential movies, like, you know what I'm saying? And then something will strike, and I will go through Reddit. I will read a lot of Reddit. That's my, and then something will strike, like, for example, like the story of when I did the Powerpuff Girls, I made a multiverse of the story of Mojo Jojo. Mojo Jojo is actually the father of the girls. There is an actual canon episode. They talk about that. So I'm like, how do I expand on that world? So looked up the movie Joker. I'm like, and then taking on the stories like a lot of villains like Pain, Madra, all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's make this guy like a whole menace. Like, let's make Mojo Jojo a real menace, because he literally got kicked out of his home
Right.
for being girls. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, he got kicked out of the house. No reason. So so I created that world, and not only that, I was just like, okay, but how do I make I can't use teenage girls because they're gonna grow, because if I'm gonna do multiple installments,
Right.
we'll have to make it seem like they went to college, You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to, obviously you got to make it make sense, you know what I'm saying, for demographics like us and the younger demographic and everything. So like with that, and then when it comes to this, like, okay, there's gonna be heavy CGI.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is anime inspired for sure. I look up a lot of Avengers, a lot of Avenger movies. I'll repeat and watch the Avengers movie, especially Infinity War specifically. I'll watch it multiple times. I'll look up, like, I'll probably have memories of certain movies. I'm like, nah, I want to do this because of this, you know what I mean? Or certain video games, like, for example, like there's a moment Mojo Jojo grabs energy, spins around, and sends it off right back to people, and then there's a mass explosion. It's inspired from the splash card from Super Smash Brothers from Sephiroth. Sephiroth, when he like first popped up in the scene, everybody's just like, you got inspiration. Wait, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'll get like small inspirations from like certain scenes, but then I'll watch like a lot of like anime inspired stuff or anime, and I'm like, okay, let me look up animes like I like, and then let me see what type of CGI I could play with in real life and everything.
That's dope. How did you find the people to help you with the graphics, or do you do the graphics yourself?
I have a couple people, you know what I'm saying? I got my boy Drew, Dan, Q Disney. There's a couple people I go up to. I'm like, yo, we all linked up like during pandemic, post pandemic. We linked up, and then from there, I'll tell them the vision. I'll send them. I'm like, hey, this is the vision I'm thinking of. And I'll ask before I do it. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Is it possible? The moment they say yes, it's over from there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it difficult for them, but until I know it's a yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's dope. So, what has been the most challenging project you've worked on, and how did you overcome the obstacles you faced?
Ooh, there's a couple challenging projects. So, one of my fan films, Army of Two, was very challenging. Because it was the hottest time of the pandemic. I had like 90 people on set and all that stuff. And not only that, using prop weapons, not everybody's a gun owner. You know what I'm saying? So people don't know how to put their finger off the trigger. And, I'm like, yo, relax, like put the gun down, da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, even though they're BB guns, it's like, yo, you got to treat them like they're real weapons.
Real good.
That was a challenging one. Our Netflix Dreams episode 3 or 4, the Witcher one, that was pretty difficult. And then the first one was because that was the height of the pandemic as well too. I have a couple spec ads that are pretty difficult. And then this recent project, I did a recent project with a couple people. It's an unnamed project, but it has like featuring like NLE Choppa, all that stuff. That was a fairly I helped directed it. That one was a little challenging, and then I did a thing with Kel Mitchell, Invisible Boy.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was a challenge one, but that one had, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. I learned a lot from it because like from the stunt, all that stuff, and yeah. So that was, I wouldn't say it's too challenging, but I was learning from it. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Very nice. Yeah, no, that makes sense because every time you direct a project or you create something, it's always going to be new challenges. You might think like, oh, I got it all mapped out, I'm ready to go, and then something else comes up. You're like, oh, I haven't experienced this before. Okay, how can I fix it? How can I do something with this?
yeah. No. It's problem solving. Directing's problem solving. Realistically, it's problem solving. That's the best way to explain it.
Definitely.
So, how do you balance the artistic vision with the practical constraints of filmmaking, such as budget and time?
Oof. So budget, it's crazy because the way I write my script in a way my pockets are. If I was given unlimited money, I would go absolutely crazy. So, but I write my scripts in a way that like I'm like, this is the way I could afford it. You know what I'm saying? Budgeting is very tough because like you're always gonna have something is going to happen. There's always that situation. There's always I have to pay for that. Of course I would. You know what I mean? Now time, having people dedicate their time. Shout out to everybody that has work with me on a project. Time is like before I would just have everybody there and learning from that, like people could have like spent their whole day doing all this stuff. I'm like, okay, how do I balance that? Okay, so the way I would do it is I would do like here's some gems I drop. Like, so when I do films, I do fighting first and then dialogue later. You know what I'm saying? So I would do all the fighting. I would have everybody come in all the different call times, do their fighting, and literally be in and out of there like within an hour. I'm like, okay, you're out. You know what I'm saying? You're good. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to timing, like I try to, unless if I need everybody there for a whole day, I'll tell them that. But if it's something fairly simple, I'm gonna tell them like, yo, come in a later time, have the whole day to yourself. Just come at this time. We may be a little bit behind, but just need 2 hours of your time and you could be in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, timing is like especially in LA, it's very, very central because your day could be melted in a car. You know what I'm saying? Because of traffic. You know what I mean? So.
Definitely know how that could be the case because even when doing like music videos and things like that, it's like you start off early and you're like, all right, 9, 10 o'clock, we're going to do this. 2 o'clock, we're going to do that. 5 o'clock, we're going to do this. 8 o'clock, we're going to do this.
It's already
And
tomorrow.
by the time you're getting started, everybody didn't show up at 10. They don't show up till 2. So you already pushed back 4 hours later and they got to keep speeding.
No, lie to them. Lie to everybody. I'm sorry.
Like 6 a.m.
I lie to them. I'm telling you.
Tell them 3-4 hours.
If you're only allowed to get in the doors at 10 a.m., tell everybody show up at 9 a.m. I'm telling you, people are going to show up 9:30.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm late. No, it's okay. You're on time.
Be like, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. We're just a little bit behind. Don't worry.
Lie to them. I don't care.
That's a good strategy. So who are some of your biggest influences or mentors in the film industry and how have they shaped your work?
Ooh. All right. So there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple people, you know what I'm saying? Within my circle, you know what I'm saying? I always like tell people like, people like my boy Vader, Ryder Boy, what's good, you know what I'm saying? A boy, I think you know who he is, DJ Rivers, all that stuff, like people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people in my close circle and all that stuff. There's more people. So I apologize if I don't say your name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it's all love. So
right.
People in my inner circle, I usually get inspired. I'll just watch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some people outside of my, obviously in industry, like people like such as like Jordan Peele, or like people like Ryan Coogler, like, creating stories, you know what I'm saying? Like Quentin Tarantino's and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Edgar Wright's, you know what I'm saying? So like people like that, or like, actors like such as like, one of the, like my inspiration was like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Eddie Murphy, who is it? Obviously Denzel, Chris Tucker, you know what I'm saying? Obviously Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? And, and, and who, what other movies have me inspired? Ready Player One, you know what I'm saying? So
Man.
you know what I'm
So
saying?
what I've noticed from the things that you're saying is that you like a lot of the people that push the envelope and think outside of the box.
No,
Because
yeah,
Ryan Coogler's, the Jordan Peele's, all of those guys think differently. And Eddie Murphy's he's the master of comedy. I've loved him since the beginning.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
always been my favorite comedian of all time. And then,
beginning.
Will and Martin, they're always,
That's echelon.
they're creme de la creme, basically. You already know how that is with those guys.
Yeah.
And speaking of Will and Martin, I know that you did the Bad Boys for Life promo. How did that come about?
So that one was through my boy Vader. You know what I'm saying? He has a relationship with Sony.
Okay.
So it was in a sense of a promo for Bad Boys for promo. So that one, they were just like, yo, y'all gonna be filming with Martin and Will. Be prepared. I'm like, all right, cool. So we just, we came in with the whole ensemble. You know, say they were very strict. I'll say that. Sony don't play. Sony does not play. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we got in there. Will and Martin was really cool to work with. It's super weird to tell them, yo, stand right here. It's super weird. You know what I'm saying? Super weird. I'm gonna say that right now. It's super weird because I'm like, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? But how that came about is just, it was through my boy Vader. You know what I'm saying? He has a relationship with Sony, built a good rapport with them, and then from there, he's been, rocking with them ever since then. Obviously, whatever he needs, I'm there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, touching on that, man, I've watched y'all journey for a long time, and it's crazy. I met, Caleb, right? Caleb Farrell.
Yeah.
I met Caleb first, and I remember, I think, gosh, when the Flash series first was a thing, when it first came out on CW, Vader did a video when he did the travel back with the. So I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, I just kept watching it because I've never seen anything like that before. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. I said, yo, who did this? Because I was more intrigued with the VFX. I didn't know who Vader was. I didn't know who any of you guys were.
Yeah.
So I looked and I peeped the credits or whatever, and I saw Caleb and I hit him up. I'm like, hey man, I reached out to him. I told him, I liked what he had because I was at the time I was trying to get some music, a video done, and he was telling me how old first of all, he told me how old he was, and I was so blown away. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, he's a babe. It's like the same thing with Malachi Wright. Like Malachi he did one of my project covers.
Yeah.
And Malachi was like 12 years old. And now Malachi is out in Hollywood. He's like 20, 21 years, killing it right now. It's crazy.
There's a lot of
I reached out to him and I said some stuff to him, and he was just like, yeah, man, this is what I got going on. This is what I'm doing. And he goes, yeah, you should check out this kid named Vader. And I'm like, who's that? So he sends me the stuff, and he showed me all the stuff that he was doing. Then I started seeing you. Then I started seeing like everybody else. And I'm like, this is legit gonna be something in about 5 years.
Oh yeah.
And then almost 10 years later, bro, like y'all literally changing the game. Like it's legit changing the game. And that's why I tell you, son, like I get hyped when I see what you got going on. Even when we ran into each other at the cons and stuff, it's just really dope to watch where y'all come from and what you guys have become and what you turn. You have a whole fan base. You have people that care about you, people that love you and everything. And it's just fresh to see this, man. So it's like, I mean, I tell you, man, keep doing what you're doing. Hell, you inspire me. I'm looking at what you. I'm like, yo, I got to get my life together, man, because these boys is going crazy, and I love to see that.
And to see that it's people of urban background that's starting to explode and take off like that a lot more frequently and get the big opportunities, dealing with the Sony.
Yes, sir.
Which before that door was shut. We weren't
No,
getting
it's I'm telling you, and then I'd be telling people like, oh, how do you do it? Personally, I'll say this: I'm one of those rare cases,
yes.
especially like because I usually it is a numbers game. Da 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 da. Believe it or not, there's going to be business. You're going to see the game change again the next couple of years, but
Yeah.
businesses are going to be working with people that are less than 100K followers.
Yes.
Because reason being why, because they're having engaging fans. Not that people have big following doesn't.
Right.
You're going to see businesses really rocking with, people that have like, oh wow, they have a real organic da da da.
Right, and it's the freshness.
Yeah,
it's the freshness. It's the freshness. It's like something. It's like something. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something new. It's not the typical uniformed formula. It's going to be something different every time, which is great. You know what I mean?
So,
I think that's
the game.
really,
the game's going to be for sure change. Like especially with the Bad Boys 4 promo, I was saying earlier, like this does well. The game for promo is going to change for a lot of movies that I'm sure actors are going to want to work with influencers. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
Digital content.
I think the term. I think we need to, in my opinion, this is how I feel. I think we need to refine the word influencer now, because the influencer, if you will, has really proven themselves to be to stand next to the big dogs, and I think that needs to be a new word.
The word's already created, and it's a 2-word thing or 3-word. Digital content creator.
Oh, that's even better.
There's multiple.
Influencers more is the people that's trying to model, just be seen on the screen and want to be a personality. Like, oh, there's whoever when you go outside. Digital content creators can be a producer, a director, actual actor, whatever it is. You're creating digital pieces of media for people to consume in whatever capacity it is.
Right.
So the digital content creator is going to be more in demand, like Irving said, by the big studios, because you are something that's not the cookie cutter normal that they're used to, and you also might cost less too.
No, it's very cost effective for very cost effective to work with creators versus all right, let's do this and spend like $10 million, versus let's just spend 100K for today and call it good, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, it's kind of crazy. And the same goes for like I be telling people, like even the past decade, anime changed. I'm not saying I boldly will say this. I feel like the reason why anime is popular to this day is just because of certain creators. I've said it. There's no way, because there are certain people like my boy Caleb City, RDC World, Vader, myself, or like a lot of people on the internet. There's a lot of people on the internet on Vine that literally created content, anime-like content, and people just didn't understand. But like there are people that came out the woodwork, so like, yo, wait, time out, you're black and you like anime, or you like
anime? Man, I want to touch on this so bad.
From there, like anime just like right now shifted. Like I would say it was like the last like 5 years it just shifted because you saw sports happening. You saw everybody doing like anime type content. You know what I mean? Like was it the Los Angeles Rams did a collab with One Piece?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like they're seeing like okay, the anime is like the hottest thing right now. You know what I mean? So like you get what I'm saying? So like I will boldly say with anime how it is today is because of certain creators, just creators in general. I will say not certain creators, I'll say creators in general made it okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta be bullied for that. You know what I'm saying? Before it wasn't okay. Now it's okay.
I'm about to jump on this shit. Hey, look, bro. I know I got you by some years, bro. I got some time on you, bro. When I was growing up, anime was the most taboo, underground, weirdest shit in the world. People used to make fun of you, all that, right? Mind you, Miami, Florida, upstate New York, they would drag you for that, right? I'm like telling these people, I'm like, yo, this is the future of animation. I'm telling you, it's going to change everything.
Oh yeah.
Nah. Okay, 20 years later, we get Toonami, right? Toonami back in what, 2000, 98, 99, it basically, Ted Turner, Cartoon Network, all the Hanna-Barbera stuff, the cartoons, the Powerpuff Girls, all that stuff was inspired by that, and Hanna-Barbera, and all that stuff. We got Toonami. Toonami basically put all the anime stuff to the forefront. Anime was big time on Cartoon Network for a span of 10 years, the first 10 years of the millennium. Then another 10 years happened, the pandemic happened. All the folks that didn't know anything about anime, they were in the house bored, nothing to do, streaming services. All we had was digital content creators and streaming services. What was on those streaming services? A lot of anime. What was the main anime streaming service? Crunchyroll. That's what everybody had, and or the internet, right? Boom. The digital content creators like the Vaders or the RDCs, whatever, y'all created all this amazing cool stuff, right? And then they're piecing stuff together. Wait a minute, isn't that the dude who did the thing for that one anime? But I saw Vader do it first, but then I saw that, and everything's coming together, and then now it's making sense. Now it's becoming a commercial thing and a commercial success. Every single streaming service has put anime-esque or anime something on their HBO, Netflix, what was Amazon?
Just put my show on there. I was excited.
And but what I'm saying, but that's a perfect. I mean, you can own it, bro. You can dead ass own it. Y'all,
I'm just careful how I say it.
I know you are. And listen, but I'm not, because I don't look. I know you're careful for how you're saying it, right? And I'm getting hyped because this is the type of stuff that makes me excited. Between y'all, RDC, y'all can coin that shit because y'all actually made it to where people care about it. So you trying to tell me all of a sudden Meg Thee Stallion is a fucking anime fan, bro? Heavy, and they go in the. They go.
She probably was.
No. I'm not saying that she wasn't, but all I'm saying is it's like a popular thing because they go all the way back.
Even
so,
Big Sean's
yeah. Oh no, the Big Sean, but Big Sean is legit because him and Aaron and D. That's all they've been. That's them. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's them for real. All I'm saying is like, Yu Yu Hakusho. But then somebody hit me with the funny. They was like, "Oh yeah, I was watching Ranma Half forever," and I'm like, "Cap." Yo, it was a cap, like cap. But anyway, the point is, it's a good thing that it's good to see that something that was so taboo in the forefront, and it's allowing people to really express themselves. And I feel like you guys, that includes you and all the RDC and all of you, like all of y'all, you guys made it very possible for people to step into that realm, into that space, to be themselves. And it's making for a lot of dope content and for a lot of bigger companies to look at the smaller guys to create a whole new version of what we think Hollywood or filmmaking is all about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always tell you, son, I'm always proud of you, bro. Like, because you always do, you push the envelope, bro. You go to a whole, you push it to the limit, you know? That's why I say just keep going, bro. And at the end of the day, I like to say this all the time. You know, I call you Lambo. I say you won, because you know the inside joke that we have. No, I'm not talking. But you know the little inside joke. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna talk about it later, but yeah, you won, bro.
No,
Thanks,
I'm gonna say sometimes I do be missing anime be low key though. I ain't gonna lie. So because sometimes I'm like, people are like, oh yeah, what's your favorite anime? I'm like, oh yeah, it's One Piece. Like, oh, so you like shonen? You don't like real anime? I'm like, I'm sorry. Is it not an anime? Like, so like sometimes I'm just like, I sometimes wish anime was low key.
like how it used to be. Like back in the day, how it used to be.
Some people be like, you don't know what real anime is.
Bro.
I'm like, what's real? I didn't know there was a category of real anime. I'm sorry.
I put somebody on blast that is a quote unquote anime person, right? So I was like, oh, word. I said, this stuff has been on television for like almost 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't never seen that. I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna do you one even better. Back in 2006, you was watching a lot of this on 4Kids TV when you was growing up. Nah, I bet One Piece, Shaman King. Like, I showed him all this. He was like, bro, dead ass. I didn't even realize that was anime. And he's like the biggest anime advocate now. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. You know? Anyway, let's move on.
I'm gonna say one little statement. So, One Piece is my favorite one to watch right now. And like I started and I was like, okay, boom, I'm getting into it. I found out it was 1,000 something episodes. I was like, oh my goodness, I just got to turn it on and let it rock because I'm like, bruh.
You got to be a diehard. You got to be you got to be a real one.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's not enough episodes.
See,
and I'm telling you that Oda is probably one of the best writers I have been on this planet ever. One of the top writers for sure. Literally, because right now, what's happening now, like if you're a current, I'm just like,
I'm at 100 and something.
Okay, no, because I'm past the anime. I'm reading manga. I'm now waiting for new chapters at this point. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, once One Piece is done, I don't know if I could watch any other anime. I'm not gonna cap.
I was like that.
I'm not saying.
My favorite to watch right now, but I'm like spreading it out, is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen, that's tough. That's tough. You know what I'm saying? That Jujutsu Kaisen is tough. But I usually tell people that's like one of those animes that you could like digest easy. One Piece, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Those are not easy animes to digest at all. Those are not.
What makes it hard? You know what makes it really difficult for me personally? Because like, you know, I'm a you know, classic anime. I'm a classic anime guy. Nah, I mean real talk. I mean I was watching it when I was 4. I had no business watching it. But the thing that was crazy to me is the fact that Dragon Ball Z, right? We had this conversation they were talking about the big 3. I'm like, bro, let me tell y'all something. If it weren't for the Dragon Ball situation, a lot of certain things would not exist today. I'm not saying that it is the greatest anime of all time, but it's the one of those premium anime.
It's the grandfather.
Most def. And then right after that, we got Yu Yu Hakusho, we got Inuyasha, Naruto came in I think Naruto dropped in 03.
But it's the same thing with the Bleach.
Facts, 100%.
All 3 of them came out the same year.
Same time.
So that was an issue. So it's either you like I watched both Naruto and One Piece at the time period. Then later on I watched Bleach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So but I was just like, bro, this is it. You know what I'm saying? This is it. You know what I mean? But that's just we ain't got to talk about anime because
we're done. Let me get in these. So what trends or changes in the film industry are you most excited about, and how do you see them impacting your future projects?
Ooh, the trends. Trends is what I've been doing lately is I've created some of them. So what I've been doing is I've dropped inspired bys, like certain scenes. So like what I would do is side by side, like my scene versus the actual movie scene. And I'm like, people are like, oh, we don't ever want to copy anybody. I'm like, no, I always I'm literally a student of the game, and I like to pay homage to people. Believe it or not, when I showed the side by sides, some people from that production will be like, yo, that's really cool how you did that. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll ask me questions like, oh, how much did you put into it? I'm like, bro, it's just power of friendship. And they're like, what? They're like, so they're just more, they're more flattered and intrigued and all that stuff because that's how it is. But like a lot of trends that we're gonna be doing is like, now we're seeing like live action animes, like with people but keep in mind, live action animes was a thing way before we got on the internet too. You know what I'm saying? So there's one that was like, was it like the Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope? That's like the most classic one. You know what I'm saying? I think it was like redid the Future Trunks and the Future
the robot Dingo or something like that. Robot Dog.
It was like the most. It's one of the like OG classic anime live actions.
It's really good too.
You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't seen it, peep that. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of those top ones. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So doing that, the next trends is like I guess camera style, like because there's certain camera styles that like I adapted and people are like, yeah, it's an Earth shot. I'm like, good. I adapted that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's creating a signature thing, you know what I mean? So There's a lot of things that's coming up that I feel like in the film world that we're gonna bring is gonna be it's for sure gonna be a game changer. And and keep in mind we never went to school for this, so so YouTube University has been teaching us. You know what I'm saying? I got a master's degrees at YouTube University.
I'm the same like you. I've gotten my PhD in YouTube as well, especially with the editing and all of that. Now I'm working on motion graphics because, man, there's so much stuff to digest. And every time I'm like, all right, today I'm going to take the day to learn the MoGraphs. And then I'm like, all right, I got a video to do today. So, nope, don't have time to go watch MoGraphs and learn this stuff on After Effects.
Right.
I'm like, shoot, got to edit this video, chop up, do this. All right, come on. Let me run with that.
Nope. Every evening, I'll listen to a motivational speech. I'll look up a movie. I'll watch a movie. Last night I watched Bad Boys and I watched First Rush Hour.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm preparing for an original that I got coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching how they filmed it, because like the dude who did Rush Hour was he was pretty young when he did the Rush Hour movie. You know what I mean? So both Rush Hour and he did Money Talks as well too. So just watching his style and trying to adapt it to my own thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a little story that not anybody knows. Back when Chris Tucker was doing his Money Talks thing, right? He was, an up and coming actor and all of that good stuff. My mom actually went on a date with Chris Tucker, and he took her to like a hole in the wall spot, and like she was like, he was cool, but he was still working his way up, and the actual spot was kind of like ran down. I don't remember if it was Chinese or what, but I was dying laughing about it because she went on that date. And then, like, the next year, he did Rush Hour and started blowing up even bigger. I was like, he could have been my stepdaddy. What happened?
That's funny. That's hilarious. What are the chances of that?
No, it was crazy. And I'm like, he's always been one of my favorite actors. So,
oh yeah, he's definitely one of him and like we said, him and Eddie Murphy are like one of my top favorite actors. Like, I was so intrigued by Eddie Murphy as a kid. Like, shouldn't have gotten a VHS. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all don't know, VHS is fossil. You know what I mean? But like, I got my father's VHS. Keep in mind, Beverly Hills Cop is way older than me, so I'm so
you want to ad lib?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's way older than me. So I got in there, boom, popped it in the VHS, and then I watched it. I shouldn't have watched a rated R movie, but I was just like, bro, this is fire.
Yeah.
As a kid, I thought this was fire, and then I don't know if like back in the days, like when you like every like quarter, when the quarter is done, like people will allow you to bring movies, Game Boys in at elementary school. So like the two movies I brought was Beverly Hills Cop and RoboCop, and then they're like, I don't think we can watch it. It's like I didn't see anything wrong with it, but like looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I should have watched it.
That's so funny. That introduction of like the Eddie Murphy is nutty, because that was my first introduction was Beverly Hills Cop. Like my uncle got me the tape, and I was watching the tape so much, and I'm so dumb and young. I put the tape in the wrong way, and it got stuck, and I was bummed out for the whole weekend. And my uncle came and took the thing. And he goes, "No, you got to do it this way." So I'm watching, and that's when I realized this man is dope. Because then the Coming to America stuff, and then the Golden Child, like.
No, like, you skipped the classics.
No, I'm just going in the direction.
Professor is what locked me all the way in.
But Nutty Professor is 20 years later, bro.
No, it's not.
Bro, the Beverly Hills Cop is in the 80s.
What did you say right after Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America's. I put the Golden Child. Those are the films that I watched when I was little.
You still said something else.
I didn't say nothing else other than that.
Anyways,
yeah, those the Beverly Hills Cop. The thing I love about Beverly Hills Cop, the original, the first one is, first of all, and Coming to America. It's that camera speed, that classic camera speed that they used, and then the dialogue and how the dialogue was crazy. And I feel like I always compare Beverly Hills Cop and the first Bad Boys, favorite movie of all time, number one.
Number two for me is the best.
What?
No, Kevin. I think two was fire.
It was fire, but part one is the shit, bro.
Okay. Part one is that because you got to understand at the time era, Super Cops was a thing. You know what I mean? Like the Rush Hours, like I said, like I think Beverly Hills Cop 3 just finished. I don't know.
We won't talk about that one.
But super cops, like cops are like like super cops, that was a thing back then. So Bad Boys 1 was like for, you know, Will and everybody to be like boom, like, you know, super brain or big brain in that movie. That was like a trend then, you know what I'm saying? For what I've been seeing, you know what I'm saying? So Bad Boys 1, yes, I will give it its flowers, but Bad Boys 2 was crazy.
Son, Bad Boys 2 is amazing.
So we'll give this to the audience here. Let's
OMG,
see.
son.
Audience, which movie do you prefer over the two?
And
Bad
I'm from
Boys
Miami,
1
son.
or Bad Boys 2? I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below.
All right, look, I used to always compare Fouché and Victor Maitland. If they teamed up, oh shit! Like think about it. Victor Maitland and Fouché.
No, I get it. I was just saying, just super cop at that time era, like it's looking like it's becoming a thing now. Super cops is like it's reoccurring because like once Bad Boys 4 dropped, you know what I'm saying? Beverly Hills Cop,
Super Cops.
Beverly Hills Cop 4 is supposed to be dropping, and then it wouldn't shock me. 2025 Rush Hour 4 pops off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
ready
saying?
for a Life Part 2. Martin and Eddie need to hurry up and do a Life Part 2. I need something.
Who has the rights to the Beverly Hills Cop movies?
I don't even know.
Paramount?
Probably.
I think Paramount and Sony need to have a conversation about doing a crossover.
Oh shoot, he dropped.
We lost him.
He'll be back.
Next time on This That Type of Talk.
What does it say? This device is not connected. No, it's probably kicking a second. But the only thing I was saying is like when he's talking, just try to let him finish the statement so it's not talking over him, and then you could run your whole idea. So like you hear them talking, even if they like pause for a second, see how long the pause is, and then run it. Because then I can't. I mean, I could separate the audio and then like delete it, but it makes it easier for me if I could leave the audio all together and just kind of like, all right, boom, clean up a little bit.
Okay, no problem. Oh, that's Irv. He calling me right now.
I was like, you can tap on the watch, can't you?
Last time on Irving got kicked. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's all good. We're waiting. We're here.
Why did you do that? Crazy.
Them damn gorilla thumbs, bro.
Texting that. Seeing like 7 texts come down my screen.
That was you. I'm like, is that a text message?
Yeah, at the top. Can't see what but it's like 7 texts that came
Anything?
You want me to resend it?
No. I have it.
Okay. All right, I'll see you when you get in here.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Oh, and the other thing I was gonna tell you too is try to lean back and chest back because you be like leaning in like this and stuff. Like, keep your posture back so you look good. Don't be over there swelling up the camera for it. Like you want to be looking good. Like, hey, what's up? Boom, boom. Yep, keep your posture back.
I lost 4 pounds and don't even look like it.
Yeah. You're not gonna notice that because it's water weight. Once you get about a dub in, then you'll notice it.
I know. I'm trying to get all this. I ate a whole kale salad before I came over here. I'm on some fucking nigga.
Welcome back, my good sir.
Yeah, my bad.
Nah, it's good. We was just sitting there, and it was like, whoop, here you go.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Big hype.
I bumped literally, I bumped my camera, and then it was just like, yeah, forget you. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. I
Did you switch to your phone, or what are you on now?
My phone.
If you want to turn it landscape, it'll be better for us if you can.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. Boom. Perfect.
There it is.
Bad.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you share a memorable experience from one of your productions that had a significant impact on who you are personally or professionally?
Ooh. I think when I did either my live action Hunter x Hunter, that one had like people felt that. I feel like that one I felt like I was growing from there because I'm like, getting out of a certain style, and then people are just like, dang, like wait, when did you start filming like this? Like, wait a minute. My first Powerpuff Girls live action and my Doritos spec commercial. That one was like one of the things that like I think the Doritos spec commercial that I did, people took me very seriously after that. Very seriously. So that one was like one of the biggest impacts of my like career. I would say so. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's really cool.
What made you choose Powerpuffs out of all of the different cartoons or animations that you could have chose to like pick as your inspiration?
Well, one, I like to challenge myself with like certain IPs. Uh, I knew Powerpuff Girls would have been a hard IP to do to make a live action out of. Two, I've always loved the cartoon. It was really cool. You know what I mean? So I've always been a cartoon head. You know what I mean? So I've always wanted to see the cartoons that I loved
Mm-hmm.
in a live action format. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls was like the first one I wanted to do. Like outside of anime, you know, why not tap into a cartoon that people have not touched? You know what I mean? Just yeah, I've always wanted to see something live action. You know what I mean?
That's dope. I'm big on Powerpuff Girls, and I also love Dexter's Laboratory. And I'm still like, you should run that one next. That would be a dope one to go ahead and flip.
It was that one, Kids Next Door, and Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with those worlds. I'm not gonna go too crazy because like making fan films, it gets expensive fast because like as you're growing, you want to do this, and you're like, it's expensive, right?
Yeah,
Dial it down. You know what I
it's
mean?
costing money.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. How did you? I had a question too. How in the hell did you pull off those costumes in the Powerpuff Girl? Like I'm talking about. What's the devil? His name is him, right?
Him.
Him. Yeah. How'd you? Like that was crazy.
So
Yo.
that one I had to look up cosplay. There's not a lot of cosplay of him.
Okay.
So searching for his claws was hard.
Mm-hmm.
So my boy Daniel, I found a 3D file. We 3D printed him, painted him, but his outfit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't want to look like the cartoon. I don't want to look cheap. I'm like, I almost want to look like inspired by Craven. You know what I'm saying? So like, like his mane, like I wanted to look like.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool. You know what I'm saying? Like up to date. You know what I mean? Same goes for like Mojo Jojo. I feel like Mojo Jojo would have armor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like the crown and all that stuff. That's all 3D printed. Like, shout out to my boy Daniel. Now, everybody else, I gave them pictures. I'm like, hey, this is what I think the Powerpuff Girls should look like. I feel like they would be like a Blade Runner look. If you want to look cute, you can. But I feel like they would look like this. But I gave the girls like creative freedom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just as long as it's nothing too wild, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So I gave them creative freedom to have fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's dope. So how do you approach working with actors to bring out their best performances? And what do you look for during the casting?
When it comes to casting, so when I think of an idea, sometimes I'll be scrolling on people's stories and I'll like see somebody and I'm like, you look like this. And I'll get inspired immediately. And I won't say anything. And I'll just, can I pull this off? And then once I find out I can pull it off, I'll hit that person up. Like, hey, what would you think if I created a film? Like, I'll look at their page first. Sometimes people have, like, they have millions of followers. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Some people, but, like, you'd be surprised. Some people want to rebrand or, like, showcase a different side of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the action side, the drama side, because they're known for one thing. So there's a lot of people that are cool with, doing something completely out the norm and showcase a different side of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got a little blurry there.
You said what?
You got a little blurry.
Oh, I got blurry. Am I good?
Yeah.
Am I good? Hold on.
Delay.
Still a little blurry. You on Wi-Fi? No, froze.
Am I good?
We can hear you again. We can't see you. It's frozen. Okay, I think it might be.
There you
Okay,
are.
there we go. It's back.
Yeah, you good.
Perfect. Now you can
Am I
finish your statement. Yeah, you good. Let me see
okay?
you now.
So
Nah, you good.
I don't know where it got blurry, but like when it comes to approaching actors, believe it or not, a lot of people are willing to it if they're known for one thing, they want to go outside their norm. They want to
Right.
showcase the action. They want to showcase this. They want to show. You know what I'm saying? So they believe it or not, some people are cool with like you hitting them up. So like even like with my with my live action One Piece, I'm gonna be dropping. Um, that one, a lot of people are just like, yo, I get to showcase my skills, da da da, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's like pretty massive, you know what I mean? So like even now these upcoming projects I have, a lot of people are like, yo, I want to be in part of stuff like that. I want to be in action. I want to be in this. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be part of the fun stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense. And that's definitely a good way for you to get actors, especially without having to pay them the budget that, some people might request because they are getting to do something different than they're used to. So that also allows it to happen. Same thing happens for us when it comes to getting people to come on the pod. It's like people are like, oh, I don't do pods that often. Yeah, I'll come on. Versus like, some people were like, how many subscribers you have? How long have you been doing the pod? What's going on with this? Can I see the back to the, so it kind of helps out.
And I etched them out. After that, they do me like that. I do the Thanos. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Nah, I don't whole follower. I'm like, does it fit my demographic? I'm like, if it's something out of pocket, I'll be real with them. But I'm not. No, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That was dope.
I don't care if they offer. I don't care if they offer money or not. I'm just like, nah, it's just not me. I can't do it, bro.
That was dope. So what advice would you give to aspiring directors and producers looking to make their mark in the film industry?
You said one more time?
What advice would you give to aspiring directors and producers looking to make their mark in the film industry?
I always tell people, don't be afraid to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the biggest things is just don't be afraid. You're gonna. I always tell people one of the biggest things: when you do a shoot, if something goes wrong, it's gonna be a perfect shoot. If everything goes correctly the way you want to do, that's a horrible shoot, and you miss something. Believe it or not, when there's one thing that happens, it's a perfect shoot for me. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you have friends around you, utilize your resources. You know what I mean? Utilizing your resources is like one of the biggest things I tell people, because you'd be surprised how many people would be like, yeah, I'm down, stack hands, freeze frame, yay, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be surprised how many people would be down for the cause. And not only that, make sure you take care of the people and stay genuine.
Yes.
Because like I can't express enough. Like I will look at a person like, look, I don't have money. Yeah, like I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna make sure you're good. And people still have fun on my set. You know what I mean? I have paid people before. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. But we're all in the same, race, and we're trying to
level up.
Trying to grow all together. You know what I mean? So it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So like obviously one of the cliche things, surround yourself with people that are like-minded and they're genuine. I think that's a real thing. You got to surround yourself with genuine people, because industry is crazy.
I understand. I fully get it. And yeah, what you said about being on the production and something going wrong, making it perfect, that's very true in other parts of life as well. So like examples for me, when I always know I'm gonna have a good trip somewhere, like say I'm going out of town, or me and my boys decide to go out the country or whatever it is, every time we have hangups, like the airport loses luggage for a couple hours, flight gets delayed, we get into a debate or an argument, every time something happens, we always have the best of trip once we get to, you know, the situation and all the little BS gets out the way. So I can see exactly how that would be the same with filmmaking as well.
Oh yeah, so it's that's what I'm saying. Like it the smallest thing can happen. There's one time, like literally, I had a weapon prop. I did a Power Rangers fan film years ago, and and I only had one prop, and it broke the one take, and I was just like, the first take, and I was like, well, I'm gonna just have to make it work. At that point, I was like, I spent days building this, and literally, action, boom, broke. I'm like, bro, how? It was the craziest thing in the world. I genuinely did laugh. I was like, there's nothing I could do about that.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So what upcoming projects are you most excited about, and what can our listeners and viewers expect to see from you in the near future?
I'm excited about the Invisible Boy project I did with Kel Mitchell, because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I'm like, that's gonna be insane once we drop that news. I got a upcoming project I helped produce with What's Good, Vigilantes. We did an executive screening at Disney Studio, which, dude, this was really cool. You know what I mean? So we got that. We have another project that's where my boy Writer Boy is directing. I'm producing. It's called I Jason. You know what I'm saying? The behind the scenes. That one is gonna be insane. And my boy Vader is doing his original called Four Corners. He's directing that, and then I have an original on its way called Enemies of the Land. That one people are not ready for it. People expect like the whole anime and all that stuff, but there's a whole different side that I'm gonna showcase that people are not ready for.
Nice, gotta love it. That's perfect. And I like I said, I can tell by your choice of directors and actors that you're, you know, a good mesh of things, and you're gonna come at different angles that people don't expect. And especially when you said that you would be a recluse and go lock yourself in your room for days on end to, you know, lock in and get your ideas together. That's pretty dope.
Oh, I have a whole film tab on my Instagram. Like I save film tabs, or like or on what do you call it, on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll save it on there and I'll relook at that, and I will lock myself in for days. I'm telling you, for days, and I'll just study. I will just study nonstop. Like the Invisible Boy thing, that because Kel's character is based off the Mystery Men, you know, the movie Mystery Men,
Okay.
and character is Invisible Boy.
Right.
I had to study that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, how do I mix, you know what I'm saying? Because like at the time period, it was like a comedy satire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a comedy satire. And I'm like, how do I mix this? Like, because like that type of comedy doesn't work right now. So how do we make it like this? I'm like, okay, how about we mix like Deadpool meets The Boys? You know, something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be really cool.
I saw in the trailer, you had my boy Dade in there. That was real cool to see him in there, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dade's the homie, bro. Dade's the homie.
That's the guy.
I've been wanting to work with him, you know what I'm saying? Him and I just like, you know, we're like, yo, whatever you need, let me know. You know what I mean?
That's pretty dope. So thank you for being on that type of talk today. But let all of the people that are looking for you know your social medias, your websites, anything that you have that you want them to be able to reach out to you on, and you know, be able to interact with you, comment, DM, whatever it is.
It's Irving Lambert all across the platform. Irving Lambert _ everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can find me, pretty much on every platform. I'm fairly you know, interactable, so I do respond to people. You know what I mean? So hey, hit me up whenever.
For sure. Well, I'm K Good, and this is
Kehinde, ATO Worldwide.
And we appreciate you for being on the show with us today.
Yeah.
And we gladly look to follow all your projects as they come up. And we appreciate that you're an urban creator that is on the cutting edge. So we hope to see more from you and even bigger projects as you go forward in your career.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Good to have you on, bro. Thanks for coming.
No problem.